Hello and welcome back to another Stonksy video. Today I'm going to be showing you exactly how I entered this current trade that we've got open, and I'm going to be obviously following this on, looking at obviously the stop loss I've set, the take profit that I've set. If I zoom out a bit there you can see it, and yeah, this will be one of them nice style videos of me explaining how I got into this trade yesterday, and then of course it will unfold as the price action unfolds over the coming days, hopefully obviously moving towards our take profit. But please do make sure you drop a big like on the video, make sure you subscribe, and of course make sure you sign up to BLOFIN. That's currently where we've got the trade on, and there is a BitUnX link in there as well. You get some great welcome bonuses when you join both, and of course make sure you join Stonksy. That link is down there for you too. But yeah, let's get into it. So obviously you can see the trade I've got open at the moment. It's currently in roughly 60 USDT profit with a P&L of 37.64%, obviously fluctuating as the price fluctuates. But yeah, as you can see, we got this drop down here. I did get in and around here, so I didn't perfectly time the bottom, but I got in and around obviously where this local bottom is currently put in at the time of recording. So yesterday on stream we longed this point here. So obviously Bitcoin came down, we had this flash crash here yesterday, which was mostly timed with Trump saying that he likely wouldn't run for president again in the next election. Bitcoin obviously didn't seem to like that, so we got this quite harsh candle down. Now, on a couple of different time frames that we were looking at on stream, Bitcoin pushed out of the inner channel into the outer channel, which we know as an extremity, and obviously likely then brings a reversal around, which it did. So we entered there, and obviously I came off stream and I left the trade open because obviously we was coming back down towards the lower end of the price action that Bitcoin has created within this current range. But then obviously later on we got a very harsh sell-off, quite aggressive and driven into the downside. Now on stream I did obviously cover the fact that this area here is what we can consider demand. So obviously this is where the low, the current low of the move has came in, and obviously where Bitcoin came down, consolidated for a little while, and then obviously the origin of the reversal came. So this is obviously demand from what we know at the moment for how Bitcoin is structured price wise. But of course, as we did that, we obviously came down into the demand zone that we'd covered. Also we did that inner channel again and bounced back into the inner one, as you can see. But if we move it onto the 1 hour, the 1 hour is a pretty key time frame for me to look at, because as you can see we dipped in here. You don't get this often on the 1 hour. Obviously you have to wait quite a while and for quite an aggressive move for it to reach the end of the inner channel, obviously up or down, or of course exit into the outer channel. So I got that and I thought, right, okay, this is good risk reward. We've come into demand. If Bitcoin doesn't bounce here, then we're probably looking at lower levels, obviously coming, taking out this low and potentially dropping down to 110, 109, 108, something we've been looking at on stream for a potential possibility. But obviously risk reward is there. We've come into demand, we've come into the lower end of the channel on the 1 hour, so now good risk reward point to enter a trade. So as you can see, obviously back on BLOFIN now, you can see, yeah, this is obviously the trade that's open. I've got my stop loss down here, and I have got my take profit all the way up here at 118,000, just over 118,500. The big liquidity heat map is showing obviously hot liquidity above 120, but obviously this is coming into around the area where Bitcoin sold off, so we could see some resistance there should obviously it bounce all the way up there. But this is how I've got my stop loss and take profit structured at the moment, obviously with recording this video. I'll run through obviously any changes for that as price action unfolds. If we start bumping up to 116, 117,000, I obviously will move my stop loss up. Maybe I'll add trailing stop loss, maybe even alter the take profit a little bit, maybe trim some off. So obviously the rest of this video will go through the emerging price action, whichever way it goes. But as you can see currently, what we looked at on stream, what we looked at using Stonksy, all the variables there to say this trade was a good risk reward standpoint, and obviously at the moment that has proven right. You could close this for profit if you wanted to. 38% is not a bad way to make a profit. So yeah, but we will obviously look for a bigger trade and we'll obviously dissect that as the price action unfolds. So let's see where we're up to. Okay, so it is now the day after, and as you can see, the trade is going very, very well. We are currently 137 USDT in profit and 83% up, so we are approaching that full 100% P&L point. Now, as you can see, since obviously that first section, Bitcoin came up all the way towards 115,700. It dropped back down overnight, actually, down towards 114,000, which was obviously a retrace. But if we go obviously to the trading view chart, as you can see, this was local resistance. It was providing obviously a point of obstacle for Bitcoin across Wednesday. Then we did obviously surge through it, and as you can see, the bleed down came in, and we retested this area and obviously held it for support, which is where this push up is now coming. Now, as you can see, we are retesting obviously yesterday's high with some quite good momentum, it looks like, and we are approaching obviously the key point of 116k. If we push through that, and as you can see, we've tried, obviously when we first lost it, we tried to get it once, twice, we then tried again here, and then we tried again yesterday. If we can push through this area, obviously depend on where you want to draw it, you could pull it down a bit, but in and around 116k, if we can push through that, we could see expansion then, because the drop down was obviously very fast, very aggressive, and we could then come up to the point where Bitcoin may find obviously some resistance as it comes into the supply point up here. But obviously that would take us in towards full take profit. Now obviously on this trade I have moved the stop loss up to just above break even, so we was risk free overnight. There was no risk apart from obviously trading fees, which was fine, and at the moment this is obviously a very comfortable trade, so it's looking good. If we can obviously push above 116k, we could accelerate up here, and then I may look to take most of the chips off the table, but again obviously we will see where we are in the next segment of this video. But all in all, superb trade so far. Obviously, for anyone that was watching the stream or anyone in the Discord server that's taking this trade, obviously is up fantastic at the moment, and we are approaching that 100% P&L points. But obviously, towards full take profits should see us make a real nice return on this account. So let's see what happens throughout the rest of the day and obviously into tomorrow. Okay, and we are back just a little while longer. It's not been long at all, and we got a huge move on Bitcoin. We finally pushed up back above 116k. And we are currently at 116,600-ish. So if you look on the trade, I have closed 75% of the trade now. So that is plus 143.6 USDT. And I still have 47, just under 48, unrealized P&L, which is still in the open trade. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to obviously leave this to run, because I have my stop loss at entry. You know, we could pull, say, a little bit more there, and that would pretty much cover our fees as well on that. So the trade is completely risk-free. We've cemented 75% of the trade, and we're leaving the rest open. It's been a fantastic trade. Now, we obviously didn't come quite up to where I had to take profit. I had to take profit around 118,000, but given the velocity of Bitcoin's move, I think, you know, there's, when you're looking at it, there's potential to maybe come down and retest this area of 116, maybe just below along here, in which case I may add a little bit more on. But in all, it's been a fantastic trade. And of course, I've still got a portion of it open should Bitcoin go on. And because I've already taken profits on the table, I've now got the ability to just let this run and just see how high it can go. You know, this is something we've looked at on stream recently, is obviously coming for these highs, you know, here, this build-up of kind of lower highs that we've had. If we come up, or, you know, all the way up here, then I can obviously take more off the table. I haven't put a take profit in yet because, you know, I've pretty much got free reign now after cementing them profits to obviously pick and choose where I take more off the table. So I think now it's a point of where we could just leave it to run and just see obviously how high Bitcoin can go. Can it go after all this? And could we obviously get a lot more juice out of this trade? But if you take over a look at Bitcoin on TradingView, you can see that Stonksy called this trade. It went green just over $114,100, and of course is still green now. It was green for the first pump up, obviously stayed in the green background for the pullback into SR, and then obviously has caught this move. So that's a great move by Stonksy. Obviously we entered, if you remember to the start of this video, based upon where Bitcoin came into, obviously structurally, and also using the channels. But then with the green background coming in, that cemented really some confidence in this trade for me. And as you can see, the benefits have happened, and yeah, Bitcoin has carried on upwards, giving us a great return on this account. You know, we're now up to 352 USDT in this account, which I use on stream every day for trading. So we're really building it up now after this trade, which is fantastic. And yeah, it's been a great trade overall. So this will probably be my last update on this. I'll be obviously showing the viewers an update every day on stream with us having this open. And now we've obviously got 265 USDT in equity to open open a separate trade, maybe on an altcoin or whatever it may be, or add obviously some more to this Bitcoin trade if we do get a pullback into, say, here. But yeah, thank you very much for watching. I hope this has been informative. Hope it's shown you exactly how good it is trading on BLOFIN. Of course, my thought process on opening trades, and of course, trading with Stonksy. Make sure that you get it. Links in the description. Obviously, there's a benefit for you. And obviously, you know, depending on what margin you're trading with, this could have paid for a whole month of trading with Stonksy. Could have paid for an annual or even a lifetime plan. You know, if we come over here, this is the cost of them. You can get 20% off your monthly with code BOT20. So that'll be 20% off your first month, and that's this one that you want. But you know, if you're trading with, say, even a bit of a larger account, you know, if this was, say, a $2,000 account, we'd have netted over that, and, you know, that would have bought definitely an annual, and obviously would have got towards a lifetime plan. I mean, that Stonksy is yours forever, just off this one trade. So do make sure you check it out. And like I said, thank you for watching, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.